My gosh, look, there's a black person walking around. I've never seen that hairstyle before. Ni hao, ni hao. And I showed a picture of an alien. So I was trying to get that vocabulary for them to say scary, mean, ugly, whatever. One of the kids says, the alien looks scary, just like the teacher's hair. And I kind of froze. There's people waiting for the elevator and I'm coming off and people see me and they literally jump like they're scared, like they jump back. So if you've been watching my channel for some time, you know that I moved from the Washington, D.C. area of America to China a couple months ago because I took a job as an English teacher. I'll start with some good things about living in China. I think that for one, it's convenient being here. Like I said, I moved here. One of the reasons I moved here was because it's one of the most convenient places to live, honestly, in the world. And I truly believe that. When I first got here, I had to look for an apartment and I had to tell the people who were, hiring for my job or helping me on board and whatever, had to tell them where I wanted to live, what my price range was, et cetera, et cetera. And they kind of helped me do the work for finding an apartment. So or finding an agent who would help me find the apartment in that criteria. No one ever asks me what's your credit score. As long as you have a good paying job, your landlord is going to assume that you can pay the rent. And also, once you do get to pay the rent, you don't have any landlord, even if you're like late a day or two, they won't be like chasing you down and be like, where's your rent? Pay your rent on time. You can just send it to them. All the apartments here come with furniture already in the apartment. So my bed, this bed that you see here, the mattress, the nightstand that I have coffee tables, a big TV, a couch, like everything. It even came with a coffee maker. So you don't have to worry about moving in any big furniture when you get here. Most of the apartments in China come with furniture already included with your rent. And I don't have to move the furniture out. When I move out, I can just move to somewhere different. I will also say the convenience of getting things like groceries or anything that you need for your house, like it is very fast because of the technology that they have here. So you can go on one app called Meituan. It's basically like the Uber Eats of China. So you can basically order, or it's like the DoorDash of China. You can order anything from food to feminine products to a phone charger. So if your phone charger breaks at 12 a.m., you can order a phone charger from this app at 12 a.m. and it'll be at your doorstep at 12:30 because they will deliver it to you. And it's probably cheaper than going in person and buying it. The same thing with your groceries. I never go to the grocery store. I just order it on Meituan and then it shows up at my door. I will also say the city that I live in is called Guangzhou. It has a lot of foreigners here. They actually have a part of the city in Guangzhou called Little Africa because of all the Africans that kind of like congregated there and create their own environment for like trading and selling their small business goods. I live in a bigger city. It's not like I'm on the countryside or anything like that, so that's just some context for the rest of the video. Some things that I've experienced that are not so great is, yes, I have experienced racism here, and racism here is different than racism in America in the sense that I get stared at because I am a foreigner and because I am darker skinned and because I have locks. And people taking pictures of me and recording me without my permission. Because even though people obviously know that Black people exist somewhere in the world, still when they see one person who's Black, they just make a spectacle out of it. So it looks something like this. Oh my gosh, look, there's a Black person walking around. I've never seen that hairstyle before. Ni hao, ni hao. One thing that's different than in Western culture is in Western culture, it's very rude to stare at people. So in general, staring is not as much of a a thing that's considered rude here. If you come across people who have been more exposed to Western culture, then they will know that it's more rude to stare at people. I just kind of sometimes feel like I'm an exotic fish in an aquarium. Something else I've experienced is being touched without permission. I think that this happens more with like kids than adults. Most adults will know better. Hopefully. And mind you, I've been here for 4 months, so this is my interpretation of it. After, the culture shock has dissolved and I'm really like living in the experience and the culture experience. But on the positive side, I get a lot of compliments specifically on my hair. From Chinese people. One specific instance that I experienced as a teacher in the classroom was definitely like a racist and prejudice comment that I got from a student who was probably about 8 years old. I was in a class and I was teaching them about superheroes and aliens. These students, they don't have a very colorful vocabulary yet. They're like 7, 8, 9, and 10 years old. They can speak sentences, some of them, but others of them don't know how to express exactly what they want to express in English. And I showed a picture of an alien. I was trying to get that vocabulary for them to say scary, mean, ugly, whatever. So I was like, what does this alien look like? One of the kids says, the alien looks scary, just like the teacher's hair. And I kind of froze, just like in the middle of class. Because I am a teacher and I'm in a foreign country, I want to act accordingly because there's still the thing in the back of your mind where like, because you've grown up in a society that's like a Western society, you don't want to have that like angry Black person stigma on you. And that is a thing here. I'll talk about some other prejudices I've experienced from adults next, but I didn't want to act angry or pissed off or mean, even though I was more confused. I wasn't pissed off or angry. I was more confused because it's an international school. I am the only Black teacher at my center. No other Black people, no other people with my hair type. So I waited until after the class and I told the PA, the class advisor, who also speaks very fluent Chinese because they are Chinese, to tell the parents of that child and also sit down and talk with the child that telling a teacher that because they're Black and they have Afro textured hair and they have locks, that their hair is scary is not okay. That word scary is a word that for years and years, in America at least, has perpetuated the act of violence against Black people. Violence, because if someone views you as scary and as something that's like unknown and uncontrolled, there is no problem with you being prejudged or prejudiced or discrimination against you because you're scary, you're an abomination, or you're different, or something else I've experienced is people acting scared when they see me. And I'm sure that this would be something different if it was a Black man. I'm sure, because I'm only 5 feet tall. I'm shorter than most people even here. And I'm sure that this would be much different if I was a Black man and my same skin tone and have locks, which I have seen Black men with locks here as well. But I'm talking to the point where I'm coming off the elevator. There's people waiting for the elevator and I'm coming off and people see me and they literally jump like they're scared, like they jump back. It happened last night. Actually, I ride the city bike a lot where you can like scan the QR code with your phone, ride the city bike and then go around the town. And I was riding the city bike. There was a couple in front of me, a Chinese couple, and they were walking in front of me. They were not able to see me because they were walking that way, and I'm driving that way in the bike, and I ring the bell to let them know I'm coming. And the man looks back, sees me, and then literally like jumps. Like he jumps, I'm pretty sure he jumped a whole foot in the air. I'm not even kidding. He jumps like he's scared, and then like holds on to his wife. And his wife is like, what are you doing? Like, it's just a person. But that man literally jumped when he saw me. I've also had experiences where I'm sitting on the train and I sit down. It literally happened where this old man looked at me because he sat down next to me and there were no other seats on the train. And he just looked at me, and then I looked at him like, "What's up, dude? What you looking at?" Nikan Shama. And the next ride, people get up. At the next stop, I mean, people get up out of their seats and then go off the train. And then he gets up from his seat, walks across the train, and then sits in an empty seat. And that's just another example of some people don't want to just be by you or be next to you, or the thought or the sight of you is scary to them, or it's unknown. Most people here just don't know or understand your ethnicity. And one of the main questions that I get about my hair from other people is, how do I do my hair? Bruh. How do you get your hair like that? When you wash your hair, how does the soap wash out? Like, how do you see that the soap has washed out? I will say that I've gotten all these type of questions from Black people too. It isn't my job to answer those type of questions, because to me, it's like receiving the question, how did your skin get so dark? So like I said, a lot of it is just ignorance, and blatant ignorance, and non-exposure to other cultures outside of their own. But I will say that since I have been here, I have made friends, Chinese friends, other American friends, other friends from the UK that are respectful and understanding, not to ask those questions, or they're just more exposed to Western culture. They studied abroad, and so they've been around people of other ethnicities. It's important to seek out environments where you feel safe, with people that you feel safe, and avoid environments and people that don't make you feel safe or make you feel othered. That has been a challenge since I've been here, to not feel othered, or to find environments and seek out those environments where I feel safe to express myself and to express my Blackness. Even though being here has changed my perspective on how I feel like I need to show up, because I know who I am, but being able to kind of expose myself to other cultures other than the Black culture has made me a lot more open-minded. Generally speaking, however, my experience with the general public of China and Chinese people is that the culture is rooted in service-orientedness and warmth. I think that a lot more of the experiences that I've had are positive than negative. And for example, on my birthday, even though we were supposed to have a coworkers meeting scheduled on this day anyways, where we're going to go out to dinner, my coworkers made it special by singing me happy birthday and giving me some gifts. And that's just an example of the Chinese culture. They're very hospitable and very service oriented. Unlike in the US, like in my hometown, people are always trying to give you less than what you gave, or you get less than what you pay for. They're always trying to give you less for your money or for your effort. Here, you get more. You get more than what you put in, and people are always looking to give and to help you. If you are considering going to another country to live, especially if you are American, if you're Black, a lot of Black Americans are thinking about fleeing the country, going to somewhere else. I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend doing some research on how Black people are treated in the country that you plan on going to, and how convenient life is there. Life being very convenient here has been one of the things that has made it a lot more of an enriching experience. I will say that the staring and the prejudice has been not a pleasant experience for me. I think that I expected to experience something like that, but it's different when you're actually here and you're experiencing it, and it's like a day-to-day thing for you. And it gets old. It just really gets old, especially when you come from a society where, like, I grew up in a predominantly Black high school, or I went to a HBCU when I was in college. I grew up in a predominantly Black town, I would say. Coming here and experiencing what I've experienced here is way different, way out of my comfort zone, but I think it also has built a lot of character for me. So, what questions do you have? What videos do you want to see from me? Comment them down below, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, I'm sending peace, love, enjoy your way. All right, peace.